Hello and welcome. Welcome back. And when I say back, I mean I was forced off of here for a week. Yes, welcome back to the Collapse Experiment. And today, man, I am not the only one that's having to deal with this or similar crap as of lately. An hour before now, uh, Carl Benjamin of the podcast of the Lotus Eaters announced that his entire channel has been demonetized, and his channel apparently is owned by a corporation. It's not even his channel. The money they get doesn't go to him. He gets paid by a company to do the show. And somehow YouTube said that they did not violate any policies on YouTube, but that their association with another channel on YouTube, which they have none, is the reason that they have been demonetized. Interesting, right? So yeah, Carl Benjamin doesn't swear on his show. They know how to speak about certain topics without being receiving strikes like me. That is why you have not seen me for the last week. Apparently, quoting a UK medical specialist on what he said during a certain event 2 years ago. Um, and these are the words of YouTube: may have violated. They're not even sure. They're not sure. They're they're guessing. It's a wild guess because it may have violated their policies. So to be on the safe side would have been to not take my video down and to not give me a strike because they're not sure and their actions hurt me. Um, Not really anybody else, from what I can tell, but they want to have a safe environment for their website. So yeah, I got a strike and they took me down for a week for quoting an expert in the field who sets their standards from what I understand to be their policy. Because these are the people that they follow. Uh, I can think of one other person who also received a strike for quoting certain experts in virology, and Stephen Crowder is no longer on here. So yeah, this is an ongoing thing, but it's not even COOF related, if you will, as to what is happening with a lot of these channels. We don't know why Carl Benjamin had his show demonetized. They're probably going to leave YouTube altogether at that point because what's the point in being here? So yeah, he's probably going to say bye bye to YouTube and go elsewhere like Odyssey or Rumble. Rumble seems to be the place to go these days because somebody likes to ruin their entire freaking network. I don't understand it. Doesn't seem to be a very good business model. But me and Carl Benjamin are not the only ones going through this. There is another channel called Squirrel Tribe, and if you've ever been to her channel, uh, she covers a lot of the East Palestine train derailment, and she's doing this very deep dive into what is happening, who's profiting, who's responsible. Why the hell did Norfolk Southern delete the footage from the train accident? I haven't heard of that ever before. Epstein. But it seems like whenever something bad has happened and they're trying to cover their buttocks, if you will, because YouTube has a problem with swearing now. Even though I said this content is not for kids, why is that even a thing on here if I can't click on it and still continue to be an adult? YouTube, I don't understand. Your policy sucks. It sucks balls. Sucks hairy balls. So, um, yeah, this girl, she's married, she has kids. She's doing this deep dive in the East Palestine and what's going on over there. She's been getting threatening emails, phone calls from places she's not even familiar with, who yeah, are harassing her. So she stepped back for 3, 4 days to kind of figure out what the heck is going on. And she did an update yesterday where she actually hired a private investigator to see whether or not these threats are legitimate. And out of all of them, there are 2 confirmed who apparently are from uh, possibly BlackRock, Vanguard, Norfolk Southern, the people she's talking about. Apparently, some of the emails are actually from these companies. So yeah, they seem to have an issue with what she's talking about on what is like I have a tiny itty bitty, nobody really gives a crap about me YouTube channel. Hers is slightly bigger, but in the grand scheme of things, she still has a tiny, small YouTube channel, and they definitely have a problem with what she's talking about. It's kind of weird. But she's back. She's talking about the topics again as she was before. So if you want to really stick it to these people, go follow Squirrel Tribe over at her channel because she's over target. She is directly over target. Otherwise, they wouldn't give a crap about her. So I find that to be very interesting. Apparently, I must have been over target with something because even though I technically followed YouTube policies, I may have violated something somewhere. And even when I, of course, tried to contest it, they just replied with like it's standing. Like it was 30 seconds later, it was like automatically their response was just like there's no fighting this. And I'm like, wow, okay, so you're not even sure I violated anything, but you're sticking to your guns. Okay. Good for you. I don't know. So, anyways, that's what's happening with Squirrel Tribe. So she's back. She's doing her thing. Go give her a sub because apparently she knows what she's talking about, and she goes pretty deep into a lot of this stuff. Right now, she's covering the cleanup effort and how Vanguard is profiting. So Vanguard was one of the big investors in Norfolk Southern. Train crash. Cleanup. Who's profiting from the cleanup? Vanguard. Somehow, for some reason, the EPA is not doing their job, and they're allowing Norfolk Southern to uh, organize the cleanup of the mess that they created. And so Norfolk Southern hired this other water treatment facility to take care of the contaminated water with all the crap from their train crash. And yeah, it's also owned by Vanguard, which is weird. It's almost like they know how to make a dollar regardless of whether they screwed up or not. I wish our banking system knew how to do that. So, Squirrel Tribe, yeah, she's under attack. She hasn't received the strike. She hasn't been demonetized. I don't think they know, quite frankly, what to do with her when it comes to the YouTube algorithm situation because until YouTube, I don't know, it just seems like YouTube is just making up their own um, by their policies now. It's just like if they can't get you on one thing, well, we'll create this other policy and then say that they violated that. So Squirrel Tribe. Now the last one I want to talk about is Radix Verum, where she's also receiving a lot of threats. She's definitely getting squashed in the algorithms with YouTube. She should have, in my opinion, she should have more followers and she should have a lot more views on her videos. Um, but even me, who is subscribed, doesn't regularly get the notifications for some reason. Canadian Prepper also has a problem with this. So actually, I'm going to close with Canadian Prepper on this video because he's in a very sticky situation. But with Radix Verum, she's doing a documentary on the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot, if you want to call it that. Um, so she's doing the documentary. She's also interviewing the guys who were involved in this alleged plot, getting information from them as to what happened. She's covering the trials, which are quite frankly a joke. These trials are a joke. They're just for show. If they could have just grabbed these guys and thrown them in a maximum security prison, they would have, even though it's not legal. They're suppressing evidence. There's all this stuff that's happening with the Gretchen Whitmer thing. For some reason, these guys who never committed a violent act and didn't go through with the crime that they were allegedly plotting to do are now in a maximum security facility, the same one that had, oh, I don't know, um, the original Trade Center bomber, Timothy McVeigh, Theodore Kaczynski. The list goes on with all the horrible people who actually killed people. And yet these guys from Michigan who are just kind of bumbling around drinking beer around a campfire are now in a maximum facility 23 hours a day with 1 hour to be out of their cell. How that works, I don't know. This happened after they made statements to the current, I believe it's like a Senate committee, talking about the weaponization of the FBI and other alphabet agencies. So they made a statement, and she was going to get those statements to the committee. And it was like the day after they made them, the FBI transported these guys into the middle of nowhere and threw them in a cell so they couldn't have contacts with their lawyers, their families, with her, regarding the documentary. Because this documentary, if you just watch her videos on the topic, yeah, it's going to be damaging. They have no reason locking these guys up whatsoever, and the people who should be locked up are currently still working at the FBI. So yeah, they're the ones that came up with it. They're the ones that organized it. They're the ones that threw everything together. And when the guys didn't go through with the plan that they invested all this time, money, and effort into, they're like, oh, well, there's still a conspiracy there, so we're going to lock them up. Oh, you mean the ones that you guys organized and plotted, and they were just drinking beer, smoking weed around a campfire? That plot. Okay. So yeah, she's doing a documentary. She's getting squashed in the algorithms. Most of her videos are demonetized for one reason or another. And yeah, so go check her out and help her channel. The last one that I know of is Canadian Prepper, and this has been going on for a while now. So Canadian Prepper, obviously he's from Canada. He has a little shop on the internet where he sells survival goods. Uh, his channel, so I don't know what YouTube's issue with his channel would be, but for some reason, I'm subscribed to it. I'm supposed to get notifications when he posts new stuff. And like 4 days after his video gets posted, I will, hey, did you see this new video by Canadian Prepper? And it's like, no, because you didn't tell me like you're supposed to. This has been going on for a while. It's not like he posts a video and the next day I'll get a notification like first thing in the morning, like YouTube's catching up to my day or something. No. This is like half a week later, I'll get a notification and he'll already have like 2 or 3 other videos out that I already don't know about. So they're definitely squashing Canadian Prepper's channel for what I can tell to be no reason. He doesn't swear. He doesn't really cover certain topics that would get you a strike or demonetized. So he does everything YouTube says that he should be doing. They just hate his followers, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. I think it's all just a bunch of horse poop. And yeah, this is the reality. So having said all that and seeing that this is happening to other people, um, I I do have other outlets. So if you don't see me on here for a little bit, it means I probably have a strike, whatever the hell that means. I think it's like they bend me over the table and spank me. I don't know. It's very childish. YouTube is very childish. It's almost like a new teacher just fresh out of college, doesn't know what the hell she's doing, and is trying to punish the kids and doesn't even know what she's punishing them for because she hates her job. So I do have other places where I post. So you can find all of my content over on Odyssey, even the video that was taken down by YouTube. Haha, YouTube. It's still out there. You're not the only source of entertainment in the world. And if I'm not able to post here, I do have my podcast, which I also have content on there from last week that is obviously not going to be on here because I just did an audio recording. So I was still working. You can still find me on Spotify and most of the other podcast outlets where I was still doing this work and covering material. I wasn't just sitting on the couch moping about having a non monetized channel taken off YouTube for a week. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. This doesn't seem to make a whole hell of a lot of sense. I don't understand what their issue with Carl Benjamin is, other than they just don't want to cater to certain people because it's not just him that they're hurting. It's his tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who watch his videos that they're kind of giving the middle finger to. So I don't know what is going on in the mind of Google and YouTube, but they're only hurting the people that they're supposed to be catering to, the people who watch the commercials that they profit from. Um, these people are going to end up leaving, and they're just going to say, well, if I can't watch it here, I'll go over to Rumble, I'll go over to Odyssey. And meanwhile, I don't know, is YouTube trying to get back to like cat videos? Is that, do you remember the good old days when it was just cats? Oh, I wish we could just bring that back. I don't know. They don't bother to explain themselves at all. As Carl Benjamin stated, they try to get in contact with YouTube, and they're just like, yeah, this decision still stands. And they're like, well, what can we do in order to remedy this? And there's no response. So clearly, it's not that they did anything wrong. It's that the people at YouTube just don't like them, which isn't their job, right? They have a platform. They want to profit from this platform. They offer this to everyone to make content to draw people in so that they can profit from the content that they're making. Now they have a problem with the content that's being made and therefore losing the revenue of all the people who are watching that. I don't understand how they think they're going to stay in business. It doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to me. So, yeah, having said that, I do have a couple other live streams I will be doing today, particularly with, well, J6. That has been, there's been a lot of new information on J6, specifically with the trials and things that have come out. And there's also the WW3 front. Things are happening with that. And not really, well, there is a few things with the bank. And I'm going to do a quick video next specifically about what is happening with the banks because if you've heard of CBDB, Central Digital Bank Currency, they yeah, they're pushing that through, and like the foundation for that is being planted in July. So that's happening. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. So anyways, um yeah, those channels that I mentioned, go check those out. Unfortunately for Carl Benjamin, you're going to have to find him elsewhere in the meantime, is my guess from what I understood from his video. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to do particularly with my channel other than just keep doing what I'm doing and see what the hell happens. Because I think it's funny that it pisses me off and I laugh at the same time. Um, I may have violated their policy. It's almost like getting pulled over and say, "Well, you may have been speeding. Are you sure, officer?" Well, I don't know. I'm giving you a ticket anyways. That's what YouTube did. No verified crime here. They're not sure if I broke a policy or not. I'm 100% sure I followed their policy, but yeah, my opinion doesn't mean shit. So yeah, that's what happens when your website's run by dictators. So yeah, keep on typing.